Hi and welcome to Film Waffle, and here are some facts you definitely didn't know about Ghostbusters. To start with, the whole concept was going to be completely different. It was going to be set in the future, and ghosts were going to be a common problem back then. So Ghostbusters were teams of guys going out in this futuristic world, tackling them like firefighters. Of course, the whole concept cost a bucket load of money, 300 million, even in the 80s. So it was scrapped, and what they did was they rewrote it to make it the more grounded fare, if you can use the word grounded, that it is today. It's no surprise that Dan Aykroyd wrote the Ghostbusters if you look at his family tree. His great-grandfather was a ghost investigator. His grandfather tried to create a device that could talk to ghosts, and his father was intrigued by ghosts and read up on them extensively. When it came to filming on location, many of them were real places, as you probably guessed. One of those was Columbia University, where they actually filmed exterior and interior shots, which is a bit outside the norm. They normally build sets for these kind of things. But director Ivan Reitman thought it was a good idea that, as well as filming outside when the weather was bad, they could go in and film in there too. Of course, Columbia University didn't want their name on the film. Why? I don't know. I'm guessing that it's probably got a lot to do with this guy who sacked the Ghostbusters. I definitely wouldn't want to be associated with this fictional evil dean. The Ghostbusters lineup could have been very different. The character of Peter Venkman, which was obviously played by Bill Murray, as I'm sure you know, but also Chevy Chase and Michael Keaton were up for the role before Bill Murray took the job. Meanwhile, John Candy was involved in the role of Louis Tully, but his concepts didn't quite work out with the director. And one major name that turned down a role was Eddie Murphy. The team wanted him to play Winston Zeddemore. He was going to occur a lot earlier in the film, but once he dropped out, they moved the role to further on in the film. And that may make it sound like nobody wanted to be in the film, but of course many people did. One of them was Sigourney Weaver, who auditioned for the role. She wanted to have a comedy movie after the massive success of Alien, which of course is not a comedy. She decided to do a non-speaking audition and rolled around pretending to turn into one of those ghost dogs for director Ivan Reitman. With the comedy talent on board, it's probably no surprise to many that a lot of the lines were ad-libbed. But one thing that was ad-libbed that they didn't expect was the bookcase that falls down early on in the movie and nearly crushes them. That was a physics ad-lib. It certainly wasn't intentional, and the guys improvised around it. One of the most expensive effects on Ghostbusters was actually the Marshmallow Man's suit, which cost $20,000 in old money. However, they had to make 3 of them, and they all got destroyed in the making of the movie. When the gigantic Marshmallow Man gets busted, he turns into a load of liquid marshmallow that falls on the populace. Although he doesn't quite really, it's actually shaving foam, and according to some anecdotes, it was 75 pounds of the stuff. Meanwhile, maybe the Ghostbusters did encounter a real ghost. When they were filming the prison scenes, that had actually been a real jail, and it was apparently haunted. And when they looked at the film at the end of the day's shoot, they found strange scratch marks on the celluloid. A perturbed cast was glad to know, however, that they did have just about enough footage to put in the film. They didn't have to go back and do any reshoots. Of course, Ghostbusters as we knew it then would not be the same without the Ray Parker Jr. theme, and that was conceived in the unlikeliest of circumstances. Ray Parker Jr. had tried to do the done thing and spent days trying to come up with a hook for the actual song. And when he felt he was failing, it was at 4 AM when he had the TV on that he saw a drain fixing company. Their advert helped him coin the line, "Who you gonna call?" Because just like the movie, it's a happy ending for Ghostbusters, who took 23 million on its opening weekend, which is a record for Columbia Pictures. It also went on to take 229 million in box office when it went to #1 for many weeks and then dropped and went back up again. It was second only that year to Beverly Hills Cop, which perhaps goes to show, despite my preferences, that maybe Eddie Murphy took the right decision when he turned down a beige jumpsuit for his own franchise. Thanks for watching Film Waffle. If you enjoyed this, please give it the thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please click that red button to get movie news and features as they roll out.